Hi guys, Julia here from JM2 Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a little bit of a ship with me. These are, for the most part, orders that have come in since Saturday night, kind of Saturday afternoon. I did make a trip. There were some things that were air drying on Saturday that were not like good to go into a package, but for the most part, things have come in since Saturday. I've got some like really great sales, some really surprisingly quick sales. So I can't wait to show you kind of what's sold, how long it took, what I got for them, what I bought for them, kind of bring you into that process of what I do here. But first and foremost, if you are new here, welcome. I am Julia, that is me. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you are into, be sure to hit subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, I mean, guys, like, as per usual, do we even need to say it anymore? I am running late. It's Monday. I need to get to the post office. I've got a jam-packed afternoon. It is finally beautiful out. I think here in California, we are through all those nasty rains, so it's just gonna be good to get out and get some like sunshine on my skin. But lots to get through, so without further ado, guys, go grab a snack, go grab a drink, and let's get into the shipments. All right, so first here, and this guy's gonna be a cautionary tale. Okay, so first of all, this is a vintage 100% cotton sweater. It's a Scottish sweater. You don't often see cotton sweaters out of Scotland. You usually see wool sweaters, but this is from the brand Hebridean, apparently named after the Hebrides, the Outer Hebrides Islands, which is a place that I would love to go at some point in my life. This is such a cautionary tale. It's a cute little sweater vest, like nice boxy fit. And I bought this in October and I didn't list it for 4 months. And this was one of those things that, like, for whatever reason, I was not excited to list this. And I have to check myself on these things sometimes because, you know, I'm very much, and I think we all are, I'm very much, you know, swayed by my own personal bias. I obviously don't buy everything in my style. I know my style is very, you know, it's not for everybody. I'm very minimalist. It's black, heavy, all that. But for whatever reason, I just was not excited to list this. And it sold so quick once I did. And it not only sold so quick, it had so much action, so many questions on it, so many likes. It's just a cautionary tale to, like, get into your death piles, guys. Like, those things, I get that some of the things you might not be super excited to, like, list and do the work with, but that doesn't mean that somebody else in the world isn't. And this is what we are here to do. Like, obviously, we're not all buying based on our own style. Like, I'm not a super boho gal. I buy a lot of boho because a lot of people in the world like boho. You know, and I'm excited by boho because I know that there's a lot of people out there. This was just something that, like, literally 4 months it sat there. I'm usually very good. Most of the things are listed within 3 weeks. But I listed this for $30, and within three weeks, I got an offer for $20, which I accepted. And out the door it goes. It's a gorgeous quality sweater. Like, guys, get to your death piles. They're doing no good to you sitting on the floor unlisted. Just set a manageable amount every day. Like, I know you're not gonna sit there and list, you know, 100 things in a day, but like, if you can do 5 a day on top of whatever you're doing in your current stuff, like, before you know it, that death pile will be listed and hopefully starting to sell off. Anyway, had this list, that one. Thank you for letting me sit on my soapbox and also encourage myself to stop doing this kind of thing because look, this sold super quick. There's another one in here, right? Yeah, there's another one in here that same deal. Like, I held off on listing it. As soon as I listed it, it sold. Anyway, had it listed for $30, got an offer for $20 within 3 weeks. $1 cost of the bins. This brought my profit to $14. Super happy to be getting this on its way. And it is. It's a beautiful sweater. Like, how often do you find a gorgeous vintage sweater vest from Scotland? You know, as we say in the vintage world, find another. Next up, now this was a crazy quick sale. This is a little Nike Golf thermal quarter zip. These are super duper warm. Now, Nike is for certain things, not all things. I have a lot of Nike that's kind of been sitting, but for stuff like this is usually a very reliable, very quick seller. Because it is something that, like, it's pretty expensive new. These are usually like between $90 and $110. And there's something that, you know, if you are a golfer or if you do anything like that outdoors, you need something like this. And it's super This is lightweight warmth. So I got this guy and I listed it for $28 within 2 days. I got an offer for $20, which I did accept. With a $1 cost from the bins, this brought my profit to $18 even, which is a great profit for 2 days. And it's a great piece that somebody's getting a really great deal on, which, you know, I always feel great about. So very happy about that. And again, with Nike, like, I know a lot of people do really well with Nike, but if you are new to the game, do some research into sell-through. Like, I don't do well with Nike gym shorts. Like, a lot of people, there are some people that like do that and they kind of specialize in Nike gym shorts, but this kind of stuff, like the half zips, the mid layers, the outer layers, I do pretty well with. I just don't ever expect like crazy sales prices. So this is another one that I had for a long time before listing, and I just, for whatever reason, and this, I think this is a personal bias thing because I don't wear a lot of skirts, so I don't expect everybody to wear a lot of skirts. But look at this beauty. This is like 100% silk, as light as a feather. This cute little pleated silk. This is hand painted, I believe, from Club Monaco. Club Monaco is a mall store, but it's a very high-end mall store. Just gonna like gently, this is pleated, so I don't wanna like kill the pleats. I'm just gonna like, we're just gonna leave it there. It's just a super high-end store, and the quality of their stuff is just beautiful. So I literally sat on this for about a month before I listed it. And when I say I sat on it for a month, I mean I sat on this for a month beyond when I listed everything else that I got the same day that I got this. It just sat on my little dresser in my office and I didn't do anything with it. Finally, I sat there and I did it, and it sold within 2 weeks. So again, you know, try to keep your personal bias out. Obviously, I don't think many of us keep our personal bias, like our personal like aesthetic in play when we are shopping, but I know that a lot of us take our personal bias into our excitement for listing. So again, another cautionary tale moment. So this guy I had listed for $32, and again, I had a lot of action on this. It's beautiful, it's very unique, very springy. I hope that didn't get all crinkled up in there when I was packing it. I imagine, you know, somebody's gonna get something silk, they might get it dry cleaned anyway. So anyway, I had that listed for $32, and it was a full price sale after 2 weeks, a little under 2 weeks. $1 cost of the bins that brought my profit to $24.60. And that is $24.60 to remind us all to just list it. Next up, now this is a brand you wanna keep your eyes out for. This is a hoodie I found from Buck Mason. And Buck Mason is definitely a bolo brand. Their quality is really beautiful. Again, this was one of those ones there's no like external branding. It's just a branding on the tag. This is what the tag looks like. I'll see if I can zoom in on that. Very simple block letters, but quality on this fabric is beautiful. It's got like reinforced forearms. And they retail, I wanna say like $118. They're pretty expensive, and they resell very well. Now this one has a little bit of wear to it. There's like a little bit of a, you know how on like the kangaroo pocket, sometimes it can start to pull. I mean, it's a good fabric. It's still got a lot of life in it, but if this was in fabulous condition, if this was in kind of like new condition, this would have been easily 50, 60 bucks. Because they are expensive and the colors sell out and people, you know, seek out specific colors, etc. But I had this guy listed for $35, you know, which with a little bit of damage seems to be about, I don't want to call it damage, just a little bit of wear, seems to be about where that would land. And within like 3 days, I got a $25 offer, which I did accept. Happy to get this out the door. It's kind of bulky. I never want to sit on something like this if at all possible, just because it takes up a lot of room in my storage. And with a $1 cost at the bins, that brought my profit to $19.78. Another super quick sale. Definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Now, this is the only time I've ever seen this in a thrift or in the bins. So let me know, have you found Buck Mason? Do you find it frequently where you are? Sorry, this needs to go ground advantage. Switching the packaging here. That's what happens when I get to yakking, but have you found Buck Mason? Do you find it frequently? Let me know. Very, very interested to hear kind of how you do with it. So definitely a great sale, definitely a brand I was super excited to find. I hope I find some more of it, and I hope I move it just as fast. Next up, now this is a cool one. This is a little Free People top. I've literally never seen this tag before, and I really had to dig with me. I'll try to zoom in on that. You will not be able to read it. If you can read it, I'm in awe of you. But this is I think this is called the Tuscaloosa Crochet Cuff Henley. And the sleeves here have a crochet detail at the end. And people just really love these kind of like slimline Henley shirts from Free People. Now, this is probably more in demand than some, but there are some with like really like heavily knit cuffs that people really look for. And if you kind of feel like poking around on Poshmark, on eBay, on whatever, just type in Free People Cuff Henley. And I believe most of them are thermal, like the ones that people are really, really after. Thermal like waffle knit. But they, like some of these things, and I mean, you know, when they were bought new, they were only, you know, whatever, $45, $55. Some of these things resell for like over $100. And people, and like competition is high. Like you will buy it, you will have it out of your hands in like 3 days for $100. So, you know, if this is something that you sell, if Free People is something that you sell, you know, with Free People being a little bit saturated on the resale market, like it's worth 5 or 10 minutes of poking around and looking at some of the ones that are really selling for high dollars, because those are the ones that you're trying to find from Free People. Obviously something like this is not quite at that level, but this did sell for more than like a regular long sleeve t-shirt would have sold by kind of a long shot. I probably would have gotten about $15 for that. So this guy I had listed for $35. I had it for about 2 months and got an offer for $28, which I accepted. So super happy for that. Dollar cost of the bins, that brought my profit to $20.96. So definitely pleased about that. But like I said, take a little time and just search Free People Cuff Henley and watch your eyes pop out of your head at some of the prices. Now this is one I've had for a little bit of time. This is a little sports bra from Free People Movement, and it is an extra small. I've had this for about 3 months. I did get this for $1 at the bin, so I wasn't super pressed on it, but I didn't have much interest on it, and I'm not surprised. You know, an extra small is just a limited pool of buyers, right? And it's especially like an extra small like sports bra, like that's even more limited because there's a lot of people that, you know, won't buy those secondhand. So I had it for about 3 months, and I had it listed for $20. I think I had that listed for a little bit more than that, maybe 23 or 24. That's usually about where I start with Free People sports bras. I might have just written that down wrong, but I got an offer for $12, which if this was like the first day that I listed, I probably wouldn't have taken that, but I'd had it for 3 months. I know that the buyer pool is limited, so I went ahead and accepted that. And, you know, again, I just remind myself, profit is profit, and I didn't lose money on this, and somebody's getting a great little piece for a great deal, and that makes me happy. Yeah, so I had it listed for 20 or so, 20, 22, 24, something like that. Took an offer for $12 after 3 months. I'm just kind of seeing the writing on the wall with the sizing and whatnot. Dollar cost of the bins, this brought me a profit of $8.05. You put in $1 and you take out $8, any business would take that profit margin. Next up here is this adorable Zara midi dress. I am kind of surprised this took as long to sell as it did. This felt so fall, and I've had this for a little while. I want to say I've had this for like 4 months. I got this right at peak fall, and it didn't sell. And you know, a lot of my Zara stuff moves really, really quickly, but this one didn't for whatever reason. And I just thought it was so, so cute. I love this paisley. It's got these like fabric covered buttons down the front, little balloon sleeves with smocked wrists. So comfy as well, a little bit of an elasticated smocked waist. So I had this again, I think 4 months. I want to say I got this in like September. Is that more than 4 months? Oh my God, the time is going so fast. So fast. And I had it listed for $36. So the buyer and I went back and forth. She sent me an offer. I countered. She countered. I countered and she accepted. And we landed on 29, which I'm super happy about. Great little piece. Love these midi dresses. They're just the best. I'm not a super fan of fast fashion, but I do find that Zara has both very good quality and a great sell-through. And I mean, listen, if we're resellers, a lot of what we do is trying to keep clothing waste out of landfills, and the biggest problem with that is fast fashion. Now, Shein, those kind of brands, they're not going to resell, so it doesn't make sense for us to do it, and it always breaks my heart to see the amount that I see in the bins. But Zara is one of those fast fashion, companies that 100% we can keep out of the landfill for the most part.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Don't hesitate to pick those things up if, especially if they're newer tagged, they will go fast. So, had this listed for $36, we went back and forth, took an offer for $29. This one came from a bins haul, like a by weight bins haul, so I paid about $1.25, and that brought my profit to $24.98. Super happy about that one. Next up, and who's ready for let's eat our words conversation. So this is a little strappy top that I had gotten from Torrid. If you watched last week's Ship With Me, I had this whole thing about how I'm gonna slow down on picking up Torrid. It just, wasn't moving fast for me. And for the most part, a lot of the pieces that I have, they've sat, they're still sitting. But this guy, the day, so whatever day that was, Thursday that this was published, I listed this on Thursday, and literally within hours, this sold. Literally within hours. I had just hit send on a response to somebody that made a comment about Torrid pieces sitting for a long time in their store. And as I was writing that comment, as I was writing that reply, this sold within hours of it being listed. So I don't know what the formula is for Torrid. You get pieces like this that sell within hours, and then you get pieces that sit for months and months and months. So I don't know, maybe if you have a niche there and it sells well for you, by all means, please don't stop. But, if you are experiencing the same thing as me, maybe be selective. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is though. this, this is a black strappy top. I have another black strappy tank top that I've had for 6 months. So who knows? Who knows? I am completely mystified by Torrid right now. It used to be one of my old reliables. It hasn't been recently, but then also you have moments like this. So I had this listed for $32. And again, I think it was literally an hour of listing. Somebody had liked it. My sidekick sent an offer for $28, which was accepted. With a $1 cost from the bins, that brought my profit to $19.38. So I'm confused. Torrid, I am confused. Next up, now this was kind of a cool find. This is a Sax Fifth Avenue branded piece. And I've picked up a few pieces like this with the Sax Fifth Avenue label, and they've all been really great quality. I mean, I would imagine, of course. But this is a little drapey top. I did find this right at the end of summer or maybe even mid-fall. And it's just a chiffon drapey top. The neckline, if you see it, obviously you can't really tell here, but it's a little bit of that a halter, how it kind of comes in towards the neck and goes out. So it's super flattering on shoulders. And then it's drapey, so you can eat as much as you want at dinner and nobody will know because this is super duper flowy. I just thought this was a really pretty piece, and it's basically brand new. So just a really great piece. Always, and just a little reminder, this is one of those things, anything that you get that's white and kind of dressy, make sure you're tagging it with bridal, bachelorette, little white dress. Little white dress is a term that a couple different companies in the bridal industry are starting to use to kind of market short dresses. Of course, certain bachelorettes are, they go all out. They buy, 5 or 6 cute, pretty expensive white dresses for their bridal season. So, leverage that keyword for sure. Little white dress is the term that they're using. I want to say Beholden was kind of the first company to, which makes sense because they're so trend driven. Beholden was the first company to use that on their website. And it has served really, really well for me in those white dresses. They never sit in my closet. Or white blouses like this. Anything that's a little bit elevated and white that looks like it could be used by a bride on her bridal shower or bachelorette party or engagement party, whatever. So this one, $39 I had it listed for. It was a full price sale in just under 2 months. Okay, so I bought that like dead of winter. And with a $1 cost from the bins, that brought my profit to $30.20. Super happy about that, and a great opportunity to talk about Little White Dress and LWD as tags, especially right now because we are like right on the cusp of bridal season. Next up, now this was one from my own closet. Of course, I used to live in the mountains of Utah. I'm a snowboarder, and I bought this for myself at Snowbird. And I think I wore this once. It's just a little too small for me. And people go crazy for the Snowbird merch because it's got such a great logo. If you guys are not skiers, you probably don't know what Snowbird is. Snowbird is a ski mountain in Utah that kind of carries the same like cachet as surfing Mavericks, right? It's a super challenging mountain, which is to say, it's not my favorite. I'm a solid intermediate. I love a good blue. I can rip on a blue, but it's a very steep mountain. Even their blues, I'm like, all right, this is not enjoyable. Like if I'm not cruising, if I'm not letting loose and cruising, I'm not having fun. There's a lot of people who want to like ski or ride the steepest mountain that they possibly can. I am not that person. I am too old for that stuff. I'm trying not to break things. I want to go out. I want to have a good time. I want to come back to the lodge. I want to have some chili and I want to have some beer. And that's my ski day. That's where I live. Snowbird is not for me. But if you are somebody who is seeking a challenge on skis and you are thinking about a ski trip, look into Snowbird. They had oh my God, I'm a marketer, so I'm such a nerd for this stuff. They had this amazing marketing campaign where they leveraged like 1-star reviews from Yelp. I think it was Yelp or TripAdvisor or something. And like they got these 1-star reviews, you know, mountain too challenging, whatever. And they turned it into an entire marketing campaign. It was brilliant. Please look that up. If you are in any way interested in like really creative marketing campaigns, look at the Snowbird 1-star campaign. I think that's what they called it, the Snowbird 1-star review campaigns. It was, oh my God, it was genius. So anyway, this is something that I bought. It was always a little too tight for me, so I think I might have worn it once. And I figured that even though it's like a long sleeve t-shirt, this is definitely something that somebody would want because people go nuts for that merch. I have this listed for, I think about 2 months at $25. Somebody liked it. My sidekick sent an offer for $22 and that was accepted. So basically a profit of $15.58. I'm happy that this is going to somebody for, you know, who's going to get some use out of it. And hopefully if this person is going to go ski Snowbird, they stay safe and have a couple, you know, drinks for me at the base lodge. Oh my God, so Snowbird had one of the most legendary après bars in Utah, and like après bar in Utah is kind of like a, you know, oxymoron, and that is fact. But this place was called the Tram Club, and it has since closed. And it's literally at the base of where the tram mechanics are. And if you are unfamiliar, like people think of gondolas where you have 6 people like sitting in a little thing taking you up the mountain. A tram, they can pack about 60 people in with ski gear. So they're huge, and it's usually just 2 cars that go, you know, back and forth up and down the mountain. And the mechanics for it, like the pulley system, is massive. So this bar had one wall that was all glass where you could just watch the mechanics going, but the bar itself was like frozen in the 70s. It was a lot of like chrome and black, and it just always had great music playing. And I went there, I think it was last year for, they have a great Oktoberfest. So we tried to go to the Tram Club after Oktoberfest, and it had closed. My heart is broken. Anyway, finally here, we've got this cute shirt from All Saints. All Saints is a super expensive brand. This is such a treat to find in the bins. This is a men's shirt. I think this is called like the Dusty Blooms. I love the color. It's this like deep purple and turquoise. I knew that this would sell quick as soon as that weather got warm. This is like a perfect thing for a guy to throw on for happy hour or whatever. Not at the Tram Club, unfortunately. Anybody who has ever been there, if you have ever been to the Tram Club, let me know in the comments below. Let us commiserate together about the loss of our old friend. So this is a little All Saints thing, a size large, perfect condition. And I got this about a month ago. Again, I knew it wasn't gonna sell until it started to get warm, but like All Saints is an always buy for me, especially newer tag All Saints. The older tags look kind of like a generic white tag. The newer tags are usually black with white letterings. It's just, I mean, I would still buy the older tag anyway, but the newer tag is going to move quicker. And this shirt was probably close to $200 new. So just to give you an idea of the pricing, they're also very big in like streetwear. So like the sweatshirts, especially with like the spell out logos, people are all over those. I've never found one in a thrift, ever. So I had this guy listed for a month at $58. And that's a pretty safe bet for this. And within a month, I got an offer for $52, which I gladly accepted. With the $1 cost of the bins, this brought my profit to $40.60. Super, super pleased with that. Great shirt. I hope he loves it. That is it, guys. That is the shipment for this week. I hope you had fun. Thank you so much for hanging with me while I literally get my work done. It is so nice to like have somebody to talk to. But I hope you had fun. If you did have fun, don't forget to hit like. Definitely don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. If you want to be notified anytime I put something out, you can hit the little notification bell and it'll send you a notification. Don't forget to follow me on all of my socials. I will have those accounts right here. I will also have those linked down below. But guys, without further ado, I've got to get these things packed up into the post office because, of course, running late. Without further ado, guys, have the most incredible week. Thank you again for hanging with me. Happy hunting, and I will see you in the next one.